Hello and welcome to Catherine's Granny Squares. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this baby blanket. It is my first go at designing a blanket and I'm going to call this one A Glimpse of a Flower. It is made up using rows of double crochet, half treble and bobble stitches for the flowers. The width of the blanket is 38 inches or 98 centimeters. I'm not sure of the length yet because I'm still working on it. To get that width I used 99 chains, the odd number being because you need a turning chain and that will not be counted as a stitch. The flowers are on both sides of the blanket, and to make this blanket I used an Aran weight yarn and I used a Robin Bonny Babe Aran. The hook size that I used was a 7mm to start off, and then I moved down to a 6mm. So we'll just pop the pink one to the side. I'm going to be using a mint green yarn, still in the same Robin Bonny Babe range, and I'm going to do 21 chains for my sample today. Going now onto my 6mm hook, having made the chain with my 7mm hook, I'm going to start with a row of double crochet. So I'll start in the second chain and I'll make this row by going into the two top strands of the chain, because that will give a better edge for the foundation row. When you use the bigger hook to make your chain, it's easier to get in to the chains to achieve this. So all along this first row with double crochet. When you've done your first row of double crochet, we're now going to make a row of half treble. So we need to chain up 2, turn the work, and normally you would work into the second stitch, but I found that gave a bit of a gap, so I'm going to work into the stitch below your 2 chains, and that's where I'm going to put my first half treble. So all along here with half trebles, this is UK terms, so the double crochet would be a single crochet if you're in the US, and the half treble would be a half double crochet. So all along here with your half treble. When you've completed the row of half trebles, we're going to now do another row of double crochet. So do your chain, turn your work, don't work into the turning chain, work into the first proper stitch and go all along with a row of double crochet. When you get to the end of your row, do your last double crochet on top of the first half treble from the previous row, as opposed to going into the 2 chains. Now we're going to do another row of half treble, so that means 2 chains, turn the work and go into the stitch below those 2 chains so you don't get that gap that I was mentioning earlier, and go all along this row with half trebles. When we've done this row, we'll be doing one more row of double crochet ready for the base to make our bobbles. So all along this row with half treble. So you've done your half treble. Now we need to do our base of double crochet ready to work our bobbles. So do your turning chain and all along do a row of double crochet, ready to work your bobble stitches. Now we're ready to make our bobbles. Do your turning chain and we're going to make the bobble into the 4th double crochet. So do double crochets for the first 3 stitches. Now we're ready to do our bobble. If you're not sure about a bobble stitch, I have got a separate video which will show you how to do it, but I will do this one slowly so I can show you here. So put the yarn over the hook, go into the stitch, put the yarn over again and pull up a loop. Put the yarn over, draw through, leaving 2 loops. Put the yarn over, go back into the same stitch, put the yarn over, pull up a loop, put the yarn over, draw through 2, put the yarn over, back in the stitch, put the yarn over, pull up a loop, put the yarn over, draw through 2, and again. You've got 5 loops, put the yarn over and draw through all of those. Then we're going to do double crochets along until we come to the last 4 stitches, and then we're going to repeat and make another bobble because the flowers are on both sides of the blanket. So go all the way along here till we come to the last 4. One, two, okay, so we'll do another bobble. I'll go ahead and do this one. As I say, there is a separate tutorial if you're not sure of the bobble stitch. And then you just do double crochets into the remaining stitches, and there should be 3 of them. Then on top of the bobble row we need to do another row of double crochet, so do your chain and turn and do double crochets along. Now when you come to the bobble, just want to show you, you don't want to distort the bobble shape, so just go into the 2 top strands of the bobble stitch, and then just carry on working along with double crochets to the end of the row, going across the bobble with just going into the 2 top strands. There's your bobble. So now we're going to make the next row of bobbles. Do your chain and turn. We're going to do 2 double crochets first, and then we're going to make our bobble into the 3rd double crochet. Got my 5 loops, pull them through, then make 1 double crochet, and then we'll do another bobble. You can make your bobbles bigger by making more loops to pull through. And then we're just going to do double crochets along the row until we come to the last 5 stitches. Just make sure I've got enough yarn. Bobble stitches, like cluster stitches and popcorn stitches, all use a lot of yarn. So we want to do double crochets along to the last 5. Then we'll do another bobble. One double crochet, and then another bobble. And then you should have 2 double crochets to finish your row. Then we need to do a row of double crochets on top. So do your turning chain, turn your work round, miss the turning chain, do 2 double crochets, work on top of your bobbles, just picking up the 2 top strands, your double crochet in the middle, and again on top of the bobble. Do that all along. Then you'll meet your next set of bobbles and go over them again just like we've done now. So that is how you would go on. You carry on doing this pattern repeat for as long as you want your blanket to be. To make the middle of the flowers, all you do is use your oddments of yarn. I'm going to have a middle of a white colour for this one. So just put some yarn, you don't need a lot, onto your darning needle. And it's like sewing on a button. Start from the back, and what you're going to do is basically go across this hole, leave some at the back because you want to secure that yarn after, and just go across the middle. You can go as many times as you like. You just want a subtle centre. There we are. Cut the yarn where you had the needle, and then just tie these ends to secure the yarn. And then what I've been doing is just taking each individual strand, and I've been taking it through the back to double secure the yarn. Do that with each individual strand, and then you can weave in or cut off the ends. That'll be very secure. So that is it. As regards a border, when I was looking at borders, there's so many beautiful borders around, I've come up with the conclusion I just want to do a simple 2-row border using double crochet because I don't want to distract from my flowers. This was a swatch I made when I was planning this blanket. This is 2 strands of double knit to make the Aran weight, and I think the white centre looks effective with the yellow, and the white centre looks effective with the green. But on the pink one, I've already started adding in different colours for my flower centres. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like my videos, please think about subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. If you have a go at this blanket, I'd love to see how it turned out, and I hope that I will see you again on one of my other videos. So happy crocheting, everyone. Bye for now.